Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. He's Justin, I'm Brad, and this is I Could Be Wrong. And thanks for watching. Good morning, bro. Good to see you.
Morning.
Hopefully, you had a great week.
Yes, sir.
And
You too.
yeah, I absolutely did. And I'm gonna have an even better week this week because I'm on vacation. So
Mm.
I am ready to talk some football and have some fun. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Week 6 got started Thursday with a surprise upset. The Giants beat up on the Eagles literally and figuratively and ran away with the game. Ended up, I think, Giants won by a bunch. Surprisingly, I didn't write down the final score and I don't remember. But from that game, I'll start with my takeaways and then kind of get your thoughts and then what your takeaways were. So from that game, what I took away is the Eagles are still trying to live up to the outside noise. They keep hearing things about their offense and they're trying to answer the questions that they hear from the outside. Um, Receivers are still not in sync with the quarterback. Saquon is still not getting any movement on the ground, and it's like Lane Johnson said, their offense is super predictable right now. Even to just the average fan, you can pretty much tell what they're going to do before they do it. On the flip side, I think one of my biggest takeaways is the Giants, assuming their two rookies that they have right now can stay healthy and Neighbors comes back and gets healthy. I think the Giants and their fans should be happy and excited about what their future has to hold for them. Scatabo, obviously, 3 touchdowns. Jackson Dart had another solid game. Didn't blow anybody away with his stats, but he was efficient.
Right.
195 yards and a TD, no interceptions. And then the other thing I took away from that game is, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be. Barring an injury, Russell Wilson has played his last down in the NFL, I believe. I think Russell Wilson is cooked, and we won't see him anymore again unless for some reason Jackson Dart has to leave a game due to injury. So that's what I took away, and then I'll turn it over to you.
Well, I mean, I definitely agree with you. The Eagles' offense is very, very predictable right now. I think teams are just not threatened by Jalen Hurts as a passer for whatever reason right now. And so they are, stacking the box a little bit more. Saquon is seeing more defenders. That's probably one of the reasons why he hasn't had many big gains. He started off with a 19-yard run, and I think everyone thought, "Oh, great, man, this is what we're going to see," and just didn't turn out that way. Um, they their defense is young. They're still going through a few growing pains. They're younger than last
Yep.
year, that's for sure. Um, uh, a lot of uncharacteristic, type of stuff that we've seen from the last couple of Eagles teams in the last few seasons.
Yeah.
And I, like you said, the outside noise is getting to them. You can see that whatever the media outlets are putting out there, they're trying to correct on the field that very weekend. And it
Yeah.
just, that's not generally how football teams operate.
Yeah.
It's quite odd to see, honestly. On the Giants side, I think they have reason to be very optimistic. Cam Scatabo, boo, however
Yeah.
you would say it,
Scattaboo.
the man is a beast.
Yeah.
He's a beast. Jackson Dart, he's like you said, played well. He
Solid.
didn't play a stellar game, but what can you expect when you're down your best receiver? Most of the I don't think any one of the receivers the Giants have could be a number one on any other team right now that I
No.
maybe the no Patriots got Diggs. I mean, I just
It's hard to think of a team that has a worse receiver situation
yeah, maybe
than the
Carolina, but Ted is a
maybe, but
baller,
yeah, yeah. So
so I just think that when he does have neighbors back, maybe they get a little bit more talent in the draft. Jackson Dart could be a stud. I mean, you
yeah,
saw his agility and his mobility. He made some big runs,
yep,
and I think the Giants have reason. Their defense is good. I
yeah,
think we saw the version of the defense that I thought I was going to see early in the year. They have good players on defense.
yep.
Burns,
Brian
Carter, those
Burns.
yeah, those guys are animals. So
Yeah,
um Surprising upset. I thought they would keep it close because if you remember right, you said
Yeah.
Vegas had a bunch of teams favored by a high number. So I was like, they're crazy. This is one of those weeks where we're going to see the total opposite of what Vegas thinks because that's just how the universe works. And this game is making me look pretty good on that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean those are my takeaways.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I like you called out Brian Burns. I think it was 2023 when we first started recording. Brian Burns was one of the guys that I had picked for Defensive Player of the Year when he was still with Carolina.
Yeah.
He's just been one of those guys that's been solid for a long time. Um, Fun fact, he has 7 sacks already this year,
Wow.
and compared to last year, he had 8.5. So he's on
Wow.
track to blow that number away. He had 2 sacks on Thursday. So yeah, I agree with you. Their defense looked like what we expected them to look like to start the season. Um, the other thing you called it out, Saquon, he had the 19-yard run to start the game, right? But the rest of the game, he had 11 more carries for 39 total yards. So in the last 2 games, he has a total of 18 carries. Whereas last year he was averaging 20 carries a game. This year he's just under 16 carries a game. So
Even
I think
playing
it's
from behind, I can't
yeah,
even fathom how that is like possible.
yeah. So it just doesn't make sense. Especially last week when they were up so big in the fourth quarter. He had 6 carries for the whole game. So yeah. And then Jalen Hurts, I think you nailed it as far as defenses are not really threatened by him throwing the deep ball down the field. They keep everything in front of him. They hope that he gives them a ball like he did down towards the goal line where he threw the interception for a pick six. Actually missed an AJ Brown that was about to break wide open in the end zone in the middle of the field. If he had, obviously we're not on the field, I don't know how the pressure feels. But had he been able to hold on to the ball for a split second longer, he would have seen AJ Brown pop wide open in the middle of the middle of the end zone, and maybe the game turns out a different way. So yeah, it's just like you said, uncharacteristic. It reminds us a lot of that 2023 team that started out. They won a bunch of games, but it was kind of like, well, are they really that good? And then the wheels just fell off at the end of the season. So
Yeah, what they
um,
start 9-0 or something like that.
yeah, it was like 10-1, 9-1,
Yeah.
10-1, something like that, and then everything just fell apart. So it'll be interesting to see if they can correct it. Luckily for them, they have a mini bye week to figure it out.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's jump over to some fantasy talk because I know that's your favorite thing to do is talk about some fantasy. So, just like we did the last couple of weeks, give us a fantasy buster and a fantasy boomer or two, and then we'll talk about Joe Flacco's impact, if any. Does he move the needle at all for any of the Cincinnati Bengals skill position players? So let's start with the busters and boomers.
Well, I'm gonna go with Stefon Diggs as a boomer because he's coming off a good week against the Bills, and I think he's starting to make that connection with Drake May. And because you didn't see it in the first few games, but
Yeah,
he balled out against those Buffalo Bills. I don't know if he was on a
little
mission.
revenge
It's
tour.
um, I saw a graphic earlier that said when he had his homecoming against the Vikings after he got traded to the Bills, he had a big game as well.
Yeah,
So it just could be homecoming games for him like that he does well in.
yeah,
But they're going against a suspect defense who looked better recently, but the Saints, I'm not terribly scared of the Saints defense and defensive backs or anything like
yeah.
that. And so I think Diggs makes for a good
Okay.
boom candidate. He's got 29 receptions on the year, 359 yards. He's looking to get in the end zone. So this week might be the week that happens. Good defense to do it against. And
Yeah.
there's my
Okay.
big boom for the week
I like
candidate.
it. I like it. Stephon Diggs. Okay. I don't have him on my roster, so as long as I'm not going against them, I'm good. All right.
Yeah, that's funny. Then the Buster, I'm gonna go with Jalen Warren because I just seen he is going to be active this week. he was questionable, but he's coming in running back Jaylen Warren for the Steelers, and I think it's just because Kenneth Gainwell proved himself a bit. That's the
Yeah.
truth. You know, Jaylen Warren missed. Kenneth Gainwell started. He had a great game, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards, and he just looked like he fit in that system better than Jaylen Warren, to be frank with you. So I would
Okay.
expect Kenneth Gainwell to get a lot more opportunities in Pittsburgh going forward. Not
Okay.
to say Jaylen Warren's not going to get his opportunities because, you know, the Steelers like that guy. They just gave him a
Yeah.
contract. They let Najee go in free agency. So they obviously like Jaylen Warren. But for me, Jaylen Warren doesn't really move the needle as a running back. That's
Yeah.
just me. I'm not very high
Okay.
on him. But
Okay.
I like the way Gainwell looked, so I'm gonna fade or call out a bust on Jaylen Warren.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think you factor in the fact that he's also going against Cleveland's defense, which is pretty damn tough.
Pretty
If not
damn
if
tough.
not the best defense in the league. Yeah, makes it tough your first game back. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I could see that one. Him not having such a great day coming back, especially he's probably going to lose some opportunities. As well. So, okay, I like it. So let's talk about obviously the trade news that happened over the past week. I think it was Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was, where Joe Flacco was traded to the Cincinnati Bengals to go be a sacrificial lamb behind that horrible offensive line. So may the force be with you, Joe Flacco. We'll all be praying for you and rooting for you. Good luck. So, does the fantasy needle move at all for the Bengals skill position players, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, those guys, with Flacco instead of Jake Brown?
oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I know he's older. He's not very mobile, anything like that. But he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's started in the league for, gosh, what,
Long time.
a long time. I can't even tell you, but it's been over 10 years now.
Yep.
And you don't start in the league that long if you're not a starting caliber quarterback. So yeah, he definitely moves the needle. Unfortunately,
Okay.
Jamar Chase is hurt. He may be out. T. Higgins gets an
Uh,
upgrade. So regardless, I think it moves the fantasy needle for those skill position guys
okay.
because he's a big upgrade over Browning.
Browning, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big upgrade over Browning.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to get your take on it. I agree. I don't know how much he moves the needle, but I think it's definitely a positive. He's a more competent. I think he's going to throw the ball to the other team a lot less. I sent you that stat. It's a real stat. Jamar Chase has half as many tackles, solo tackles, as Trey
That's
Hendrickson.
crazy.
Trey Hendrickson has 10 total tackles, solo tackles, and Jamar Chase has five, which lets you know that the quarterback has definitely been throwing the ball to the other team too much. So I think
I
obviously
agree.
that's going to help, you know, because Flacco won't be giving it to the other team. So give
Yeah.
him some more opportunities there. All right, I like it. And then as the season progresses, we will get into the discussion of whether the Bengals and Joe Burrow should mutually decide to part ways or not. So that'll be a discussion for later in the season
Yeah,
or
that would be
maybe
interesting.
off season. I can make the argument for both sides to want to get out of that arrangement, but we'll see. I can make the argument for both of them who want to stay together too.
Right.
All right, so let's jump over and preview a few of the big games that are happening this week. There are some that really aren't going to matter so much in the standings, so to speak, as the season unfolds, but there are some that are going to matter, and then there are some that really matter to kind of be like a measuring stick. So, first one I want to start with is Seattle and Jacksonville. Seattle, obviously 3-2, right behind the lead pack in the NFC. Jacksonville, surprisingly 4-1 in the lead pack, tied for the best record in the league and the AFC. Let's start with that one. I'll let you start it off. What are some of the things you're looking for? What do you expect to see in that game?
Well, what I'm looking for is that Jacksonville defense to keep up the trend that they've been having. I love seeing good defense. And so Darnold last week coming off a multi-interception game. He's had a few of those this season already. I think that this game could be one-sided with the Jacksonville Jaguars putting it on Seattle. Really on the heels of their defense, they could wind up with a lot of good field position, giving them a lot more scoring opportunities. Darnold, though he's been efficient, when he's inefficient, it unfortunately turns into the other team getting the ball. So he's completed 70% of his passes this year, near it. But the thing is, he's those 30% he's had incomplete. There's a good chunk of those that went to the other team. So, Seattle's run game, they need to step up. I think they need to play a little bit better if they're going to have a chance in this game. So I could, and this pains me to say this, there could be another buster in this game, and that could be JSN going against that Jacksonville defense who's playing lights out. And I hate to say it because I got the dude in a handful of leagues. On Jacksonville's end, like I say, just want to see them keeping it up. I'd like if Seattle can play mistake-free football, which they are gonna have to do to beat this team, then they have a chance. But if Darnold turns the ball over or anyone really gives Jacksonville extra opportunities, Jacksonville's gonna run away with this game.
Oh, yeah, I think I agree with that last statement a lot. Jacksonville's number one in takeovers. I think they have 14 on the season, which has played a big role in them being 4-1, obviously. It was the reason they beat the 49ers. They forced the turnovers, and the 49ers could not overcome them. I also agree. I think Seattle's probably going to need to get their running game going with Kenneth Walker the third as well. Now, I will say this: Darnold does have 3 interceptions on the season, right? But he's actually number 2 in QBR in the league, behind surprisingly Daniel Jones. But QBR takes all the factors, game situation, everything. That's probably the best score you can use to measure. Right now, he's playing pretty well. I know obviously they have their 2 losses, but I don't think the game's gonna be one-sided either way. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think that, again, like you said, if Seattle can play mistake-free football, which obviously that helps every team, but I think it's going to be more important against a team that thrives off takeovers like Jacksonville does. If Seattle can protect the ball, lean on that run game a little bit, and maybe force Jacksonville into a turnover or 2, because Seattle's defense is no scrub. They're not great, but they're not terrible either. I think that I'm going to pick Seattle to come away with the win, 24-21 on the road. Now, normally I would say Seattle traveling all the way across the country is probably going to be detriment to them. But Jacksonville played on Monday night, which is a short week for them, so it kind of evens things out. I think Jacksonville maybe be feeling themselves a little bit. They're going to be on a little emotional high. And I think Seattle goes in there and steals one. So, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I'll take that same score, Jacksonville.
Okay. All right. So one of us could be wrong. One of us could be right.
I like it.
All right. All right. Let's jump over to another game. I think this was more of a measuring stick game than anything for me. Detroit and Kansas City. Detroit 4-1, obviously tied for, again, best record in the league right now. They have the number 1 offense in the league. Kansas City looked like they were getting back on track. They looked like they had another last-second Mahomes victory last week until Jacksonville stole it away from them. Kansas City seems to be getting a little healthier. So again, I'll open it up to you. What are some of the things you're looking for? What do you expect in this game? And then I'll give my take and what I expect.
I think it's going to be a lot of offense in this game. I think Detroit's going to win it. I think they're a better team right now than the Chiefs. And the Chiefs have been reeling, but they are getting better. They are getting healthier. I just think Detroit's a better team. I'm expecting probably a big game on the ground from Swift and Montgomery. And, the only way Kansas City wins this game, I think, is if Andy Reid outcoaches Campbell, which is very possible because Andy Reid's one of the best coaches. But if we're just basing it on team talent right now and momentum and all that stuff, I'm going to give Detroit the edge. I think they're pretty close. I mean, if you put them on paper, they're pretty close. But I like Detroit a little bit better for no other reason. They're just playing better football right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think they're very evenly matched as far as when you look at their rosters, and I think Detroit probably has a little more talent at every position at the positions other than quarterback. But I think Andy Reid makes up for a lot of that because, like you said, he's one of the best coaches, not just right now, but one of the best coaches ever.
Ever.
So as far as total offense, they're both pretty even. Detroit's 6, Kansas City's 8. The difference is Detroit averages almost 35 points a game. Kansas City's averaging 25 points a game. So a big difference there. Obviously, Kansas City's turned the ball over, I think, quite a bit more than Detroit as well. Kansas City's defense is actually a little better scoring wise than Detroit's. Not by much, but a little bit better. They give up about 1 point less a game. I'm gonna pick the opposite. I think there's gonna be a lot of scoring. I think this is gonna be both teams getting in the end zone quite a bit. I'm gonna go with Kansas City 31-26. I think that Kansas City's defense gets pressure on Jared Goff. Here's a stat that I looked up. So Detroit has 16 sacks on defense, and they've allowed 8 sacks. So defensive line gets after it. Offensive line does a pretty good job of protecting the quarterback. On the flip side, Kansas City has gotten 13 sacks on defense and only allowed 7. So it's kind of the same story. They get after the quarterback and they protect the quarterback for the most part, right? So I think it's going to come down to whichever team can actually get that pressure on the quarterback. I'm going to lean on Kansas City based off the fact I think they're going to be a little more motivated after what happened last week. I think Chris Jones is going to come out and have a fire lit under his rear end. And I'm going to go with, again, the Kansas City Chiefs. The other thing I'll say is this. Detroit is 4-1, but if you look at their strength of schedule, the teams they've played have a combined winning average of combined winning percentage of 37%. So the teams that they've played aren't very good, and the teams that they've beaten aren't very good so far either. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So far we disagree on both games. I like it. It's fun when that happens.
Yeah. No, it is fun. I mean, the Chiefs one of the Chiefs wins was against literally the worst defense and what we could probably consider NFL history right now because they're bad. They're real bad.
Yeah.
But
I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue that. I think Detroit beat them too.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You're right.
So, Kansas City, they played a little tougher schedule right now. Their actual strength of schedule, the teams they played, their winning percentage is just above 51%. So the teams they played are winning at a higher clip. They played a little tougher. Not that matters. You play who's on your schedule. I'm just saying I'm going to go with Kansas City to win that one.
I'm going to Detroit 35-31.
Okay, I like it. Again, high scoring. Either way, I want to see a fun game. The other reason I'm going with Kansas City is because I want Detroit to lose and then the 49ers win and be in first place all by themselves. So, speaking of the 49ers, let's go ahead and talk about our, obviously, favorite team, the team that we root for and hope wins every single game in every Super Bowl, but they obviously can't. They're going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tomorrow for first place in the NFC, essentially. Because they are right now they're actually they're number 1 and number 2 based off of strength of schedule in the conference or strength of victory in the conference, whatever it is. San Francisco's number 1, Tampa's number 2. Tampa's offense, they're averaging 27 points a game. Niners averaging 21 points a game. Both teams like to throw the ball a lot. Tampa runs the ball a little better than San Francisco has this year so far. But again, I'm going to open it up to you. We know, the story. What are you expecting? What are you looking for with the Niners with their banged up roster going into Tampa Bay tomorrow?
Well, I mean, we're even more banged up than we were last week because now we
Yeah.
got Mac Jones questionable.
Yeah.
Everyone saw him in the game, just
Oh
taking
yeah.
a beating. So there's that. Pierce Hall's out again. Um, but I will say this: Godwin was announced out. Mike Evans is out. Bucky Irving is out.
Yeah.
So I think there's a chance we could still win this
Oh
game. If Godwin wasn't out and Irving wasn't out, then
yeah.
I would say it might be a little bit too much for us to overcome with our injuries, because Tampa Bay is a really good team.
Yep.
I think I'm going to root for the Niners, but I think that Tampa is still going to win this game. Just
Okay.
they're. I think there's just a lot of adversity right now the 49ers are facing, and if it wasn't a team like Tampa Bay that they were going against, who has played very well, is one of the better teams in the NFC, then it might go a different way. I'm going to give Tampa the edge in the game by 3 points,
Okay.
but I'm going to be rooting for my Niners.
I got
I,
you.
I have to keep it real for, like, if I think a team can beat us, and I think they will potentially beat us, I have to have that bias, right? I'm going to be
Yep.
rooting for my team. But I just think Tampa's a better team right now. We have a lot to overcome against a really, really good team who's got a good quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue that, and I wouldn't say that I'd be shocked if Tampa Bay wins. I'm not going to pick them in this game. Actually, it's not because of my fandom. I think the 49ers are going to win the game. I'll say that had they not played on a Thursday night, their previous game, and had 10 days off, if it was shorter, like if it was a regular week and Mac Jones was listed as questionable, I'd be like, nah, there's no way he's playing. And we would expect Martinez to come in, who's never taken a snap in an NFL game, and that's a scary thought. So, and we may still see him at some point. Hopefully not, but we'll see. I think that the injuries that you mentioned, I think that they're going to be just as difficult for Tampa Bay to overcome. And don't get me wrong, they still have, in my opinion, and you probably agree with me, maybe you don't. I think they have the offensive rookie of the year front runner right now, in Egbuka. So they still have a guy that we have to worry about. Rashad White has shown flashes. He can still make plays. They got Baker Mayfield, who in some people's eyes is the MVP front runner right now, because of his fourth quarter drives and things like that. So I agree, it's a lot to overcome, but I also think that there's something about a team that, like the 49ers, that even though they've had these injuries at certain key positions, they just keep finding guys that keep stepping up. I think they're going to do it again this week. I think Kendrick Bourne has another big game, not as big as last week, maybe, but I think he still has a fair share of targets, has a solid game. We'll see if Jawan Jennings can make any impact if he plays at all. So I'm gonna say this is the game that Christian McCaffrey gets going on the ground, even though Tampa Bay is only allowing 92 yards on the ground a game. I think that trend gets broken this week. The Niners get it going on the ground, and and the defense gets some turnovers this week. So Niners have 5 takeaways on the season. Tampa Bay only has 4. So it's
Ooh,
not like their defense is taking the ball away a lot either, right? And one thing that we've seen Mac Jones do is protect the ball when he's in there. So I think as long as they do
so
that,
far, yes.
right? So like we talked about with Seattle, play mistake free. That's what you got to do when you got a bunch of backups in, right? But also I think our defense is going to have an opportunity with Tampa Bay having some guys that probably don't play a lot either in the game. I think our defense may have an opportunity to get our first interception in 13 games now. Uh, and then I also, like I said, I think the run game gets going. We're going to get in the end zone on the ground at some point. Why not
Yep.
do it against Tampa Bay in a big game for both teams? And I trust the Niners. I'm going to go with the Niners 26-24 on the road.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. So that's what I got. And we disagree on all 3 games. All right, that's going to be fun. So, um, other
At
than
least
that,
we're still rooting for the Niners.
hey, we are both still going. So I was kind of so when they played the Rams, that's why I didn't pick. If you remember, I
Yeah,
didn't
I
pick it. I
remember.
just said, I just
Thought that
said,
ra-
I'm gonna hope the Niners win, but I didn't pick one because I thought the Rams were going to win the game. So
Yeah.
I just didn't want to say it out loud. So, for those of you that are North Carolina State football fans, I apologize. You are going to have a bad day today. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish are going to stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry. So enjoy that. Couple final thoughts. Congratulations to the Seattle Mariners. I don't know if you probably didn't stay up that late, bro, but hell of a game last night. Went to the 15th inning.
Oh wow.
It was a phenomenal game. Ended up 3-2 with the Mariners winning game 5 elimination. They're going to go play Toronto in the ALCS now. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, that's going to be a great series. Some new blood in the ALCS, and then in the NLCS, the Dodgers are waiting on the winner of the Cubs and Brewers today. So, should be a good game there as well. So, other than that, I got nothing else, bro. Oh, I do got one last thing. One last thing.
What is it?
Did you see the Michael Irvin? You see the
No.
Michael Irvin rant? Oh man. So for those of you that watch, you've probably seen it. There was a podcaster who said that Deion Sanders didn't play against the guys that Deion Sanders played against couldn't play in today's era, basically, the wide receivers. And Michael Irvin lost his mind. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, go look it up.
About
Yeah,
to.
it is hilarious. And he's basically telling them, you don't know what the F you're talking about. Keep my name out of your mouth. Blah, blah, blah. It was great. And I agree with them 100%. Yeah, Dion could play in any era. Dion's one of those guys it doesn't matter. You could, any area you want to put him in, he's a shutdown corner. And the fact that the guys were saying the receivers he played against were not good, was just hilarious. So, yeah. That's that. You got anything for us?
No, that's it, man. I got nothing.
All right.
Go Niners.
Basketball season, go Niners. Basketball season is approximately a week and a half away.
I got something.
Go for
Give me some props to my boy Cason Wallace for hitting that crazy over the backboard shot the other day, man. What? Come on, bro. That is literally how many times did we ever practice that, man? A grip. That's
Well,
skill. That was good. Good shot, homie.
good shot. Good shot. Good shot. Yep. So we will have to get together and put together a basketball preview soon and
Yeah,
get it
yeah.
out to you folks. So with that being said, we are out of here. We hope you enjoy your Saturday. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. I'm tongue-tied. Tell your friends, neighbors, family, coworkers, whoever you want. Just ask them to watch because we'd appreciate it. And I'll leave you with our final two thoughts. Division is a math problem. It should never be a people problem. And be kind. It is free unless you are talking to Cowboys fans. Peace.